Hi, it's Lindley Oz, and people are literally freaking out since the election of Donald Trump. The elitists are upset. There are all sorts of rumors about coming possible assassination attempts on Donald Trump. There is worry and concern that people are going back to sleep, prophetically speaking, and not watching things because now they think that we're all safe, and there's rioting, and it's crazy. I've got Ronnie McMullen, and he is the owner of GetTheTea.com, and he has been featured on numerous radio shows. Ronnie has a lot of insight about the things that are going on in the world, especially pertaining to the New World Order and what is taking place. All of the people are going nuts that supported Hillary, and they're all angry as all get out because Donald Trump got elected, and there has been rioting and just all sorts of crazy stuff, just from regular everyday Hillary supporters to even Hollywood talking about how they're going to leave the country. Have you heard about all this?
I have. I would say to all the stars that are, especially the ones that are MK and they're always for the wrong president, I would just say to them, I double dog dare you to do what you said you're going to do. And most of them already have houses in other countries. So they, it's not like I'm going to move there. So what are you going to do? You're going to go there for the weekend and call it moving there? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's nuts. All the violence and threats. And you were telling me that there was some crazy stuff that you had heard about and that it was going to get worse since Donald Trump got elected as far as the Hillary supporters. Do you want to share that with the listeners?
Yeah, I really think, first of all, Hillary lost, and that was, in my opinion, was a miracle. She supposedly won the popular vote, but it was the corruption vote, and she did win the corruption vote, but she didn't win the electoral votes, which was really, I was so excited. And this isn't because I'm for Hillary, it's because I'm excited that corruption did not win. So that was a really wonderful thing. I stayed up, all night watching. All the states are turning red, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's actually going to win this. I mean, he's going to actually win this. This is going to be great. So I really, call it whatever I had a dream that she was president, so I was so glad that that was really called a nightmare. So that was all good. But the aftermath of it, and it's already started kind of happening, and it's all fear, of course, fear-based, but the fact that I'm nervous because if you look at the relationship between Pence and Trump, it's not a good one. And I hope this is my judgment talking because it doesn't look like it's a good one. And the reason I'm nervous is because Pence is an establishment boy, and obviously we are seeing that Trump is not. We're seeing CNN hates Trump. NBC, CBS hates Trump. MSNBC hates Trump. So the mass media hates Trump. It's probably because of the comment that Trump said, making a comment that the mass media was biased and corrupt. So which is true. And so he says what's on his heart. He says what's on his mind. He says, truthful things, and people don't like it. And so, and the people that don't like it are the corrupt. And this is really, in my opinion, what we're seeing in the streets is the corrupt, the people that go, I really don't care, about Hillary and all of the emails. 5 countries know our private business when it comes to national security. 5 countries. So that's treason. But I guess, and then we had treason with Bill Clinton selling his arms to China while he was having an affair with Monica Lewinsky. So I guess treason doesn't count anymore for going to prison or be indicted or anything. I guess that doesn't count anymore, at least according to James Comey. So we see that the FBI was corrupt. Obviously, we see 100 different FBI agents was going to resign based on Comey covering up. He didn't come out of the covers because he was a good guy. He was covering up because 100 people were going to resign in the FBI. That's still not finished. So we have that keeps moving forward. We have the fact that there could be assassination attempts because if you look at the good presidents, we can just scroll back to Ronald Reagan. He actually was shot and made it through, but he had way more attempts on his life than ever made the news. So, and obviously we see what happened to Kennedy, and Kennedy wanted things out in the open. He did not want a secret government. And so we see what happened to him, and the same with his brother. And so they don't want the truth. They want corruption. Obviously we see this. And one of the things I love about Trump is he wants to, get away with the Obamacare. And Obama's livid about this. And Hillary's going to be livid too, because Hillary's the one that put it in Obama's hands. So I really think that we have to pray. We really do. We need a 3-foot bubble around him, and we need to pray for the Secret Service as well, that they're able to catch this before things go down, because I am in danger. He's already he's working on a health care plan, because he can't abolish Obamacare until he has something to replace it with. So I heard rumors he's already working on it right now, and he's not even become president. So that's to me, very exciting. But there's a lot of stuff getting ready to happen, and I think we really need to be praying for that 3-foot bubble that surrounds him so that he is not hurt and that he stays president. And that's very easily done. But I just don't think the establishment and the corrupt are happy with the fact that truth prevailed.
Yes, and I've had an uneasiness, about something, and I can't put my finger on it, ever since Trump was elected. Now, don't get me wrong, I was and am pro-Trump. It isn't particularly about him. Just that everybody's saying peace and safety right now because Trump was elected. Israel, Russia, America, everybody has this comfort zone because he was elected, and they think everything's okay now and everything's safe. And so I've had this uneasiness. There is a few months, or literally a month and a half, 2 months until he's actually officially sworn in. And a lot can happen between now and then, and things can happen afterwards. I just don't necessarily think just because Trump has been elected that we're all safe. And I just have this feeling that there's things that we're not seeing, or there's something that we're not thinking of. I don't know. It's just a disturbing feeling.
Well, it is a disturbing feeling because I don't know how the law works, and people could help me out with this. But if, let's say that something happens to him by the time he's supposed to be sworn in, does that mean Pence gets it? Or does that mean Obama stays in? I don't think Hillary would be in, but if Obama stays in, it's the same as Hillary. So that could be very scary. Pence would be better than Hillary, but not much. So yeah, I'm with you, Lynn. I'm a little nervous about his safety, and I don't want to overly play that, because maybe that's just the fact that I'm still shocked that truth has prevailed and won, and maybe that's something there. But I really feel, and even if he stays in office and there's no assassination attempts and blah blah blah, we still have an upward battle. And one of the things I thought that might happen too is they say, okay, instead of us assassinating him or whatever, and we'll get blamed for that, and they would, maybe we'll just make his watch look like really bad, which means let's pull the plug on the economy, and the economy collapse his first few months in office. That very much, because I've seen the economy collapse by spring, I really think we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, and I wasn't necessarily meaning an assassination. It could be something like what you're talking about. Like, what if something happened and all these people are going back to sleep because they think that we're safe and everything like that right now. So everybody's going back to sleep, and some major event happens, and then they impose martial law, just something like that. An assassination is a possibility too, but I didn't necessarily mean just that. There's all sorts of things that could happen.
Well, and if the economy collapses, they'll make it his fault. Because let's say a natural disaster, that's another big issue that could happen. But that wouldn't be his fault. If there's a major earthquake and major tsunami, that would not be his fault. War necessarily wouldn't be his fault. But in economy collapse, they'll absolutely blame him. They'll say, well, you were starting to take out Obamacare, you were this and that. They'll have all these excuses why it's his fault. And of course, the people, especially the ones that are rioting and protesting right now, their frequency is the lowest frequency that there is to have. They're writing, he's not my president on their foreheads. I mean, throwing rocks at police officers. We can go on and on. I mean, really brutal, low frequency, low IQ kind of issues. And these are the people that want everything for free. And, they're so, I really feel sorry for these people, because if Hillary would have won, they would have really seen who they think is so wonderful. It would have been bad. So these are the same kind of people that will absolutely be in the streets rioting when the economy collapses. The same kind of people, because they'd probably never worked a day in their life. So we do have some upward battles whether he stays safe or not. So it's we just again need to keep that prayer on him.
For sure. And yeah, the economy collapsing is something that has been an ongoing threat, a possibility for a while now. And I can see that. I can see where when that happens, they're going to blame Donald Trump and say what a horrible president that he is. And I can see the elitist planning something like that and just having something like that happen just for the sake of that. I'm sure Hillary would be thrilled.
This has been happening for a long time. So this is, this isn't Trump's fault. Part of this is Obama's fault. Part of it's Bush's fault, and we can go on and on. The economy is going to get hurt. I mean, unless Trump has something up his sleeve that is supernatural, and he could. And he's a decent businessman. I'm not sure if he's as great as everybody says, but he is a good businessman. But I think the economy is so far over, he'd have to have a rabbit in his hat to pull it out to where, and this is not necessarily by spring, but we don't have a long life when it comes to the economy going forward. This is why it's so very important. You're going to see inflation. You're going to see a lot of things, and it's really important to have, health products, because if he's pulling down Obamacare, that's all a good thing, but he's got to replace it with something. And if the economy tanks, he's not going to be able to pull the Obamacare. He's not going to be able to fix that, because he's going to be busy fixing the economy, trying to patch that together as it blows out. So, I mean, I would not want his job, no matter what the money was or no matter what the praise was. I would definitely not want his job. He's going to be, this will be the hardest presidential term in history.
He's got a huge mess to clean up, like you were talking about, that Obama has made. And Putin was elated that Donald Trump won. He backed Donald Trump 100%, and he was saying that he was hoping that the relations between Russia and the United States could be repaired now. Netanyahu was thrilled, and in fact, they even had a special prayer for Donald Trump. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't, but it makes sense to me. I mean, Donald Trump basically, one of his speeches, basically, and I'll nutshell it, he wants to get along with everybody if they'll get along with us. And that really wasn't the case with the corrupt and with the elitists or the establishment, I call them, because they like to call themselves establishment on major radios. So I just address them by their name they want to be called. They love corruption. And in some of these, and I always think it's funny how, Putin's the bad guy. Hillary, in all of her speeches and debates, made Putin the big problem, and how he was such buddies with Trump, and really wasn't the case. But they've made Putin to be this really bad guy. And I'm not saying he's a really great guy, but he's more for the people than Obama ever was. And people probably be mad at me for this, but that's okay. You'll get over it. But it's true. And so when he sees that Trump, and you can go even to reverse speech, Trump's words are absolutely true, even in his reverse speech, which means his soul is saying, yes, I really care about the people. And this is something that other countries are going, hey, this is a good thing, because the United States has made all the other countries rotten, and we're the best. And, I just don't know. I love America, but I don't know if I can buy into that stuff. And this is the problem. If we could just get rid of the global elite, if we could just get rid of this so-called establishment and replace them with real people, we would have a great country, and people would look up to us. It would be a great thing because we would have honor. We have no honor. We have people in the streets that are rioting over a decision over who our president is. We have no honor and we have no respect. I mean, what's going to happen next?
Well, it's good that Trump is already trying to get rid of this Obamacare that you were just talking about a few moments ago. But going back to healthcare, you care about people's health. In fact, that is your passion, and that's why you do what you do. And people need to be aware that we are in times where we don't really know what's going to happen from day to day anymore, it seems. We don't know what's going to happen next year or where we'll be or what will be taking place, especially with the threat of the economy collapsing. And martial law is going to happen if that happens, because it'll be crazy. And people do really need to be concerned about their health. And you've got some products at getthetea.com that are amazing products. You've got the tea as your main product that you sell, but you have a whole slew of others. But the tea is amazing, and it really cleans you out and makes you feel good. And a lot of people are sick if it's not from stress, because stress, just over the last, 10 to 15 years, even stress has increased and multiplied by a great amount. And a lot of people are sick from all the stress. They're sick from just, everything that's going on in the economy in itself. People are out of work and trying to find jobs, or they have stress at home with their family, and they're not taking care of themselves. So why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about your products, and maybe you should start off with the tea, because that's your main product that really does work.
Well, when I see the orders come in, and sometimes people order the other products, and there's nothing wrong with that, so I'm not spanking anybody here that doesn't get the tea. But I always kind of, question and say, why didn't they order the tea? Maybe they don't want to make it, or sometimes people won't order the tea and they'll order D365, which is basically tea in a pill. So basically, it's a detox in a pill, or it's a detox when you drink. And I like the tea myself because it tastes good and it does a little better job because it goes into the bloodstream. But I always am kind of floored when I don't see people order tea, because with all of the air that we breathe, and believe me, there's so many chemicals in the air, and with the water, that's so many chemicals in the water, from the fluoride, from the aluminum, it is crazy what is inside the air and the water. and the tea is a flush. So it cleans your colon out. We know this, but it cleans out all the garbage that's being stored in your body. So why they would not want that? Because the other products I carry are wonderful. The Ali-C, you take that and you're probably not going to be sick. So, and people that have stomach problems, colostrum, and the bag, not the pills. The pills are maintenance, but the bag will just get you well. So these are all great, but I always think, okay, why wouldn't you not want to get rid of the garbage and then take some of this stuff? Because all the garbage is gone. It's kind of like, if you're going to make a fresh food, you kind of want to take out the garbage. You don't make fresh food on top of garbage. And so the tea is kind of the cleanse, or the D365, because some people just don't want to make the tea, or they don't like tea. Well, the tea is actually 8 herbs. It's not like black tea or, some kind of tea. It does have green tea in it, and there's no caffeine in it. So I always wonder why people, our tea sells a lot, don't get me wrong, but when I do see those few orders that come in and they don't order tea, I always kind of question, and I say, why are they not detoxing? Because detoxing's not about a 1 month or 2 months. Detoxing's every month. And if you don't detox in this world and in this day and age, you're going to be in trouble. And again, I've been saying this on different YouTubes, but John Wayne, I love that actor, and obviously we lost him in the 70s. Most people don't realize, obviously he died of cancer, and you have to read between the lines of what I'm going to say to you. But he died of cancer, and he was a trooper. He was still in the movies while he had his organs removed, and certain things were not functioning well, and he was still doing movies. And I found it interesting too. In The Shootist, when he did the movie The Shootist, he actually had cancer and was full-blown cancer at the time. Still did the movie, and in the movie he was playing a role that he had cancer. So very interesting role. But with that saying, when he died, in his colon there was over 70 pounds of sludge, which means when your colon is clogged, your organs can't draw the nutrients from the food. Now, our food right now has already been compromised with GMOs and pesticides and herbicides. So now, even if you're eating food and you had a clean colon, you're still putting garbage into your organs, because unless you're eating completely organic and non-GMO, which most of us aren't. So when you have a clogged colon, and that, by the way, that garbage that you eat, those Twinkies and all that's the pie and Burger King and Big Mac and all the stuff that we eat, that gets clogged in your colon, and it stops you up, makes you fat, makes you hungry, and your organs can't draw good nutrients because there are none. Where does McDonald's meat come from? Anybody have an answer? Most people don't, because McDonald's is never going to tell you it's U.S. meat. Most of their meat is foreign. So when you're talking about different things that you're eating, unless, again, you're organic, completely organic and non-GMO, which that's almost hard to do even if you're totally on top of it, that your organs are drawing the nutrients, so you're getting GMOs put into, and this is, you're talking about genetically modified organism versus a God-made organism. The two do not jive. It's like grafting a tree with a piece of concrete. Just doesn't fly. So this is something very important, and I got jacked up, and this is why I started the company. I'm really out to help people, and, unfortunately, we don't have miracle cures at Get the Tea. We don't have things that are going to just, you're going to take it 3 days and all of a sudden, I literally had somebody buy some pills one time, and they returned them because in 3 days they didn't work. Most pharmaceuticals won't work in 3 days, and those are synthetic. So I just think this is something I want to do, is help people, and it does help people, but it takes a while. Your car's not washed in 30 seconds. So, you have to look at, we have to be patient, and we have to watch what these things do. But herbs are very powerful, and the tea is not something that you have to drink for 6 months before it starts working. Usually people have within 24 to 48 hours, they have signs that the tea's working. And real quick, the bathroom issues, when you take the tea, you're going to go to the bathroom. That's not a bad thing. People go, I'm going to the bathroom and I have loose stools and it's bad. And no, it's not. That is all the stuff I'm telling you needs to come out of your body. That's it. You're doing good. So you need to drink this tea and get rid of that stuff. And trust me, it's not going to, people think that that's the way it's going to be the rest of the time they drink the tea. All month it's going to be like that. Every month it's going to be like that. No, you're getting rid of the garbage. Once you get rid of the garbage, you're going to be like regular. Jerry Doyle, a talk show host, a late talk show host, used to say regular is a baby bird. So you're going to be regular. You're going to have normal stools. Everything's going to be good, but you got to go through that little season where things are not great. And all that stuff that's coming out of you that you go, oh my God, that was in you. That's what causes disease. So the tea should be the most exciting product out of all the products I carry, and I carry, I think, 33 right now. That should be the most exciting product. And obviously the colostrum is really exciting because it helps with stomach aches. And the Ali C is really great because it really works on, people with blood pressure problems, and it works really good on people that get sick and colds and flus. So I get excited because it really works, and I don't want to carry a product that doesn't work.
Yes, and for those of you listening, his products really do work because I use them. The main ones I use on a regular basis is the tea and also the colostrum. And the colostrum helps with so many things, with bad digestion, people who have colon problems and all sorts of digestive disorders. It really does help. Crohn's disease and things like that. So I use his products and they work great. The Ali C you mentioned, use that too. That is also very great. It really gives your immune system a healthy boost. And there were people that were sick, and I knew some people that were also taking it, and they did not catch. They normally were the type of people that would catch whatever they were exposed to. But they were on the Ali C and a couple other of your products, and they did not get sick, amazingly. So these are amazing products, and they do keep you healthy and keep you well.
And if you do, for the people who are listening to me, and you know, a lot of you have tried it, and you go, "Oh yeah, he's right, it works." Some of you are going, "Yeah, right. Here's an infomercial." It's not an infomercial, but let me tell you this: for the people that have tried it and you've had good luck, you should email Lynn and tell her, or, you know, however you communicate. I'm not good at the social media thing, but let her know that it works, because
they can email me. I'll give out an email. I just got it working. It wasn't working properly before. But if you want to email me and tell me about it, it's Lynn Leahz, Leahz, at freedomnationnews.com. You can email me there, and go check out Ronnie's website, getthetea.com. Sorry, Ronnie, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, that was good, because I want the people, and I've had this with other YouTubers, I've had this to where people say, "Oh, this really works," and, you know, this is long-time sponsorships is because, you know, they go, "You know, the guy keeps talking about that tea," you know, it's like, and after a while they go, "I'm going to try it," you know, it's like, well, if you would have tried it earlier, I would have saved you a lot of pain. You know, you don't realize all disease, listen to me, please, all disease starts in the stomach. So when she was talking about the colostrum is such a beautiful thing, and it will help you so much. So if you have stomach problems, Crohn's, colitis, ulcers, you know, GI tract problems, you know, diarrhea, I can go on and on. Okay. When you have, and that really, your autoimmune, diabetes is autoimmune. So all of these things start in your stomach. Your flora's got to be fixed. And let me tell you something, the colostrum is going to go to town. It's going to help you. For you athletes out there, okay, the colostrum's got 20% growth hormones. And let me tell you something, when you burn your muscles and you rip your muscles because you're lifting weights and whatever, this is a mender. So you drink the colostrum, you have your colostrum right before you go to bed. So sleep is a mender, and so is the colostrum. You put them together, and it's like, wow, it's a whammy. So don't, you know, you can get the pills. Everybody gets the pills because they save money. Don't do it. Get the bag. And I'm the first one in the industry, by the way, it has chocolate colostrum. Yay. The kids should be drinking colostrum too, because your milk is garbage. If you're drinking regular milk at the store, you have no idea. Go research it. It's really, 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 did I say really? Really bad for you. And it's really bad for your kids. You want to talk about jacking up their system? Drink the homogenized milk and see what happens. So colostrum's wonderful. Check it out. Do the research on it on the website, getthetea.com. You can read all about it, what it does for you. It's mind-blowing. And let me tell you something. When you put that in your stomach, you can eat again. Life is good. So, well,
anyway, I'll tell you what, to all the listeners, if we could just get Hillary Clinton to try this product, she may have had a better chance at winning the election, because she wouldn't have been so full of poop. Yeah. So for all of you listening, because we're about out of time, go to getthetea.com and get the tea, and check out his other products like the colostrum, the Ali-C, and some of the other things that are on there. You've got olive leaf extract now too. Yep. That's great also for your immune system, for everything. It actually kills viruses, bacterial infections, and fungus. I use it myself. So check out Ronnie's products. And Ronnie, why don't you also give them your YouTube channel address as well?
Health Matters Now. In fact, I just did a thing on the tea and how to make it a little bit, and it's kind of cool. So Health Matters Now on YouTube. And they're just little 4 or 5 minute videos to kind of help you with different health things, and it's kind of cool. Also, real quick, colostrum, when you buy the bag of colostrum, and yeah, it's a little pricey, but it's not really if you put it all in. It's like a 45-day supply. With the bag, you'll get 2 weeks of tea for free. So that whole tea thing, that whole tea speech I gave to you earlier, you'll get tea and colostrum all in one deal. So it's a great way to go.
Good deal. So everyone, check it out. Go to getthetea.com and get the tea, and check out Ronnie's products. And you can email me, Lynn Leahz at freedomnationnews.com. Let me know how it's working out for you, or if you have some questions. Normally you can just email Ronnie from his website, and he's good about getting back with you. But if for some reason you just feel like, you can't get through or something, which you shouldn't have any problem, but you can ask me and I can send it to Ronnie or get his attention. So please be sure and check out his website and the YouTube channel that he just mentioned. Ronnie, go ahead. Health Matters Now, youtube.com.
Health Matters Now. Yep, youtube.com.
youtube.com, Health Matters Now.
Also know that when you are buying products that help you, okay, you're also helping Lynn. you're also keeping her on YouTube. So that really helps her. And please, if you are listening to her and you get something with Get the Tea, check the box. Lynn Leaz, and check the box and say, hey, this is where I got it. This is what I listened to, and blah, blah, blah. So it's really important because we're behind Lynn. So just thought I'd throw that in there.
Yes, make sure you let Ronnie know where you heard about him from. And that really does help him out. We don't use special links or anything. So you got to make sure that you check the box and tell him you heard about him from Lynn Leaz. Well, thank you so much, Ronnie. And our time is up. But I really appreciate you coming on the show. And I know I have a lot of listeners who love listening to you and they love your products. They do leave me comments, and I get private messages on my YouTube channel from people who use your product and really like it. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me on.
All right. Thanks a lot.